Okay, wasn't going to do a blog today about Walsall away at Leicester City. Was just going to go along to the game, but I had a conversation with the Leicester fan this afternoon. Pissed me off a bit. Kind of hate it when clubs that regard themselves as having some, in inverted commas, big history talk about smaller clubs and their alleged cup finals. But I think the only cup final we might have against Leicester City this season is probably the Johnson Paints Trophy. And there's a reason why, Leicester City fans, you're playing in Division 3. So one of the other things that irritates me, I think, about clubs like Leicester City is that when they went into administration, they ended up paying their creditors 10 pence in the pound. Didn't do the York City thing of paying their creditors 63 pence in the pound, trying to do their best by local businesses, the St John's Ambulance. I understand all the fallout around ITV Digital and whether those clubs can be kind of kept going, but you know there are issues here around good management, about professional management, and about duty and care towards those other local businesses, really. You know, having kind of read David Conn's The Beautiful Game, and having reread it just recently, you realise just how unprofessionally some big clubs act, and how professionally other clubs that have to engage with their supporters' trusts, like Bury, like York City, like AFC Wimbledon, behave. So I think my last pre-match thought really is about the nature of the ground. It's very different, clearly, the Walkers Stadium from Edgar Street, my last game, which showed no evidence of trickle down from the Premiership and their riches down to the lower leagues. No sign of redevelopment there. Leicester quite clearly have a concrete and plastic bowl in which they play, but given all of the money they spent on it, it bears none of the character of the Gal Farm Stadium in Huddersfield. Bears none of the kind of character, the architectural character of even of places like the Reebok in Bolton, really. And it's just yet another reminder of how sterile thinking about mass participation sports and how we as fans are treated within them can be. So I had an email in from Derwin this afternoon asking me whether I felt any more a Sadler for having been to last night's game. And I guess, it was an interesting old game, wasn't it? And it was really frustrating seeing Walsall fall into the same old trap that they have done, well, for 30 years of watching them, really, of going ahead in games and then the midfield collapsing back on the back four, the central midfield in particular not getting enough of the ball. Leaving one lone player to forage up front. I would say, Derwin, that Jabbo is a buy of the season. He is a real hero figure. As to whether it kind of made me feel like I belonged, can't really answer. I think supporting the team is too much wrapped up with how I feel about the club and the club's relationship with the fans, really, at the moment, for me to kind of disentangle the two. And at the moment, trying to get the launch of Walsall Till I Die sorted is proving a bit of a trial. Poor communication on both sides, I think, between us and the club. Too many fingers in the pie as well with the publishers and the National Literacy Trust. But it's a great book, and it's going to be stocked by the club, and we're going to do some sales in the Saddlers Club. We're going to have a launch, hopefully, in the Saddlers Club as well. On that level, I think we're going to have to wait and see, to be honest, mate. But I'll let you know.